Jake, we'll start with you since you're the first one in here.
Cool. Johnasia, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. So we spoke a little while back about, some of the social justice initiatives that the team was taking, and, that you said that, you're never just going to shut up and dribble and, things like that. How have you been impressed by, maybe in the month or so that since we've spoken, the action steps that you guys have taken and, this whole idea to ignite the change?
I'm extremely impressed. I'm more so impressed with my coaches, the fact that they're allowing us to speak up on social injustices, not only just to speak up, but to take action to help, others learn about the social injustices, to just spread the love. I know we recently sent out our wristbands. We finally got them ordered, the Black Lives Matter wristbands. So it's like really exciting to be a part of a coach, like to have a coaching staff that not only like wants to hear you out, wants to know your story, but wants to help you, change the world. So I'm really impressed. One thing I can say when when I performed my song at the march, it was really special to be able to call out my coaches in the crowd and be like, hey, my teammates are standing behind me. They're all right here. And I'm proud to say that my coaches are out here in the stands, and everybody was excited because that's just something that you don't really see on a normal day or on a regular, regular basketball team with everything going on. So it's really special to be a part of a program that, puts us first and are willing to hear us out, to know our story, and to get to know us on a different level, and to put their all into wanting to help us change and make the world a better place.
And, obviously from that aspect, your lived experience is obviously very different than a lot of your teammates and potentially a lot of your coaches. Even some of the younger girls on the team, what have you taught them about, this movement and maybe what it's like to, be Black in America or, be a Black athlete and navigating,
One thing I taught my teammates is when you're speaking about the social injustices going on in the world, you don't want to try to sympathize with them, because they don't want sympathy. They want understanding. They want you to know. They want you to have the knowledge to have the conversations. They don't want you to just be like, I feel so sorry for you. We don't want people to feel bad for us. As a Black female athlete, having those conversations are tough. I feel like they do make me a little bit uncomfortable, but being able to help my teammates learn certain things, to help them improve on everything that they know about the social injustices and stuff like that, being able to have conversations with them is a step, I feel like is a step to make the world better. So one thing I would say is just not to sympathize with us, instead to learn, so that you can have these conversations, so you can also stand beside us when it's time to make change.
And, I know you talked about the song that you sang, has music always been a big part of your life?
Yes, it has. I actually joined I was always in a gospel choir in my church when I was younger, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until about 7th grade. I joined the choir school, started doing musical theater, and literally took it up all the way through high school, and it has never stopped since.
And do you find that, because, I'm sure people have friends who are musicians and they say different things. Do you find that sometimes music is almost a better way to get your point across than, maybe even speaking or writing might be?
It's crazy. I never thought about that, but I actually do. I feel like when I write music, it's like writing all my feelings down on a page, writing a story. Sometimes it's not even about me, but just getting certain feelings out. Like, some people ask me all the time, like, who's the song about? Who's the song about? I'm like, it's not about anyone specifically, but I have felt this way at a point in time, and I decided to write about it. So I feel like it definitely does help with, getting my feelings out, speaking my truths without having to be specific to anyone else or take it out on anybody else. So I definitely do feel like music is my emotional outlet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Canyon, do you have any questions?
Sorry, yeah. Hi, Johnasia. I was just wondering, so just looking at your statistics from last season, you were a pretty good defender at SMU and everything. And looking at Penn State's, they're ranked in the bottom of most defensive categories in the Big Ten. So how do you think you can help bring your expertise to really help pick this team up on the defensive end and just use your role as a leader as well as a transfer with experience coming in?
Well, coming in as a new player, their defense here as a defense I've never played before. So the only thing that I could really say that I can bring to the table, that I have brought to the table, is my ELC, which is my early, loud, and continuous communication. And also, my effort. I always bring max effort, no matter what drill it is, no matter what I learned, new, old. I always give max effort, and I feel like that's one thing, being a veteran, that I have brought to my team. Showing them that even on days when I'm, hurting, or just not feeling it that day, because everybody has those days, that I'm still going to give max effort through whatever drill that we do, and that I'm always going to be communicating no matter what. I'm always going to be trying to bring the juice to keep everybody up. And I feel like that's a big part of defense, is communication and going all out. Sorry, excuse me.
And then also as well, I mean, you transferred onto an extremely young team, especially with all the freshmen coming in. So how do you think you can use your role as a leader and just your experience going through the rigors of an entire season to just help guide these players coming in and just teach them what it's like to play Division I NCAA basketball?
Well, I mean, by just sticking to our core values, like, always being passionate, like I said, bringing the juice every single day. I feel like I have to live the role in order to teach the role. So it's better to, be the example than to try to, come in to a new school and, just start talking. So I would just say, bringing the passion, always bringing the juice, respecting each other, treating them how they want to be treated. Giving everything that I got, putting in all my investing in the game, working out with each other. Give me 1 second. Just being disciplined, showing them how to live above the line. And as far as like being the best student I can be, the best player I can be, and also the best, just the best person I can be on and off the floor. Just being disciplined, turning my homework in on time, doing certain things like that. Because I feel like if I don't do it off the court, then you can't earn respect on the floor. So that's one thing that I just say, like sticking to the core values and hanging on to every word that Coach Keeker says, and just trying to live in that above the line standard every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle, you can go ahead.
Hi, so I was just going to ask about, obviously, I feel like it's sort of easy to take the ability to play a sport for granted sometimes. So obviously there was a point throughout this offseason where you guys didn't really even know if you're going to be able to play basketball this year. So with all that being said, can you speak to how much appreciation just the team in general has gained for being able to play basketball?
Appreciation. I'm not really sure appreciation is the word I would use for, being able to play basketball, but I'm very grateful that we get to have a season. I know my teammates are extremely grateful, especially the older ones like me. They're really excited. We've been doing nothing but working really hard. I feel like we have been getting a lot of support, not only just because we are planning on having a season starting on November 25th, but also just the fact of our Ignite the Change, thing that we've been doing as far as trying to help people learn about social injustices and supporting Black Lives Matter and things like that. I feel like that's where a lot of our appreciation comes from, being the voice of this city, being the voice of Penn State for, helping to ignite the change. But as far as appreciation to having a season, I'm not really sure about that, but I know that everybody on my team, teammates and coaches included, are very grateful and appreciative to have the game of basketball, because without basketball, it's like we're lost. We don't know what to do without it.
Philip? Oh, hold on. You're muted, Philip.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Philip, hold on. Still muted.
Okay,
There you go.
there you go. Hey, wanted to ask you just what leads someone who's got 1 year of eligibility left to transfer into a program with so many young players, a program that's rebuilding, and what do you think you add to the mix that's already here?
I can tell you one thing that leads me to a program like this is happiness. I always ask myself, what kind of player could I be? What kind of player would I be? You know, I can do all this work, you know, anywhere, and I can, you know, get buckets like this anywhere in my eyes. But how much better would I be as a player if I were happy? So I feel like happiness is definitely a thing that someone would chase, and with 1 year eligibility, having 1 year eligibility didn't scare me or anything like that. And especially not, another thing that didn't scare me was the fact that it was a young team. I mean, I was a part of a rebuild at my last institution, at my last college. On my last team, we were the youngest team in the country, you know, but I actually like being a part of a rebuild. I like being the one who can, even if I'm not the one who sits here and wins the championship, I would be like, hey, we started that culture there. We started that new culture. We started that, and their win in the NCAA championship is our win too. We were there. We started that. We initiated that, and I always wanted to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the reason why people do great. And even if we're not the ones to win the championship, I know down the road that team that does win the championship, they're going to deserve it. They're going to be so happy. I'm going to be so happy for them. So that's happiness is one thing that definitely pulled me in to transfer in even with my 1 year eligibility. But one thing that I can say that I brought to this team is true passion. I feel like my energy is contagious. When I'm positive and I'm up and I'm hyped, everybody's positive and they're up and they're hyped as well. I feel like I can change the energy in the room. I walk in and it's just a different vibe. So that's one thing I can say that I brought to this team is a bunch of passion and fun.
Canyon?
Speaking of that happiness that you're gaining from transferring here, do you think part of that has to do with you being from PA and now coming back to Pennsylvania University where you really feel more at home?
You know what? It definitely does. Only being 2.5 hours away from home is like super special to me. That's another reason why I decided to leave, you know, to be closer to the fam. My little brothers and sister are getting older now. I want to be an example, but I can't be an example if I'm so far away. So the happiness part definitely includes being closer to my family. I love being closer to home. My mom can come, you know, visit sometimes when she wants. So it's really special. It's really exciting to be closer to my family.
And then one final question.
Oh,
So
go ahead, Kenny.
Coach Kier talked about earlier playing positionless basketball. And so you're currently one of like 3 forwards listed on the entire roster. So how do you think you fit in that system and just trying to change your game a little bit?
Oh, I think I fit in the system well. I feel like, you know, Coach Krieger, she's all about wanting to have a fast offense. And that's another thing I bring to this team is speed. I'm running with the guards. I'm sprinting the floor. I'm rim running. With me being listed as a forward, I can play multiple positions. So we've been working on, you know, ball handling, attacking from the lane lines, and the shooting, but mostly just driving and stuff. Because one dribble to the basket, and then I'm aggressive in the post. So playing in the post, being a post presence and rebounding. So I feel like I fit very well in the lineup. I feel like I fit very well on the team, and everything that Coach Krieger has planned for the team, has planned for her offense and her defense. I feel like everyone on this team fits really well into every position.
Joe?
You're muted. Sorry.
There we go. I'm muted now. Sorry about that. How are you, Johnasia?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, Mr. Joe?
Doing all right. And apologies in advance if this was already asked, but I know over the course of the summer, you actually performed an original composition of yours downtown in front of the Allen Street gates as part of the rally for social justice. So it's, I guess, a 2-part question. How much of a passion is music for you, and how much of a passion is the fight for social justice?
So I'll talk about the fight for social justices first. The fight for social justice is extremely important for me. I mean, I walk around these streets and, I don't feel like, like everyone else. I'm an African American female basketball player. And the first institution that I went to was a PWI, which is predominantly white institution. It was really difficult, being the only African American to be in a class, walking around campus, and instead of people asking you, hey, what are you majoring in? They're, hey, what sport do you play? But it's like, how do you even know I play a sport? I don't have any gear on. Is it because I'm an African American student here that I have to play sports? I feel like social justice is extremely important because people need to understand that we're all one. We're all people, and no one should be looked at, less than another person. And also just fighting for, my family members. They've been a part of police brutality. People have lost their lives. Like, it's deeper than just me. I feel like it's also for the people that come behind us, the young ones. What are we teaching them? Like, I feel like, igniting the change and everything that we got going on here is going to be really, really special, really, really great. And my passion for it is high, and I do anything to continue to ignite the change with being at Penn State. Now, to answer your question about my passion for music, I'm extremely passionate about music. When I was a kid, I used to sing in gospel choirs and stuff like that, but I never really took it serious until about 7th grade. 7th grade, I joined the choir, and I also joined musical theater, where I started in High School Musical Junior. And I loved it so much that I decided to continue to stick with it all the way through high school. Performing that song, it's crazy. I had actually wrote it at SMU while still at SMU. And I told my coaches about it. And, he had told us not to go, no protest. Don't go protest. It's not what we want to, what we want our organization to be doing. And I'm like, well, why not? I want to speak out. I want to speak out on these things. I wrote a song. It's everyone's writing music right now about, the George Floyd thing. I want to be a part of that movement. No, I don't feel like it's best, So just being able to come here and have another opportunity to sing that My It's Time to Rise song, it was really special for me. And to be able to have all my teammates and my coaches standing in the crowd with me and being there right with me, it literally brought tears to my eyes, honestly. I never thought that I could feel so loved and supported, but until now, because my coaches are standing right behind us to help us ignite the change and for social injustices. And I don't know, it made me even more passionate about my music, just to be able to write something original and perform it and people love it. It makes me never want to stop. It's those moments like that that keep my happiness and passion for music.
Joe?
Yeah, it certainly, it was very inspirational. I had the chance to see it, and certainly applaud you for going out and doing that. It's something I think that it's very inspiring to see you and all of the Lady Lions joining as leaders in this fight for change. So it certainly was. Does that now, being at Penn State and having that opportunity to be on the forefront of social change, I guess what's the biggest thing going forward that you and the team seek to do on that forefront?
I mean, every month we come up with a new the change movement. I know recently we just got got our shipment of wristbands. There are Black Lives Matter wristbands with all the names on it. As far as what we have planned in the future, I mean, it changes every month. I feel like our next step, I'm not going to lie, we're probably going to ask if they can put a hashtag either on our practice gym or on our main floor of BLM, because we've seen it done somewhere else and we loved it, and we want that too. And we just want to show everybody that we are for Black Lives Matter. We want to help change, and we want to help make the world a better place. But as far as, future and stuff like that, can't really speak on it because it changes every month. We have a new thing every month. I'm hoping that we take on even making a children's book or something. We have planned on doing a lot of different things, a lot of different movements come up. So I don't know, can't really answer that one, but just ready. I'm ready, excited.
Definitely looking forward to it. I guess on the floor, I know it's still being decided, I guess, what your status is for the upcoming season. But just being able to get out on the floor and play with this team, what have been the best things about playing with this group of women here at Penn State so far in your experience?
The best thing about playing with these are probably the best teammates I've ever had. They work hard. They work so hard. Like, and I don't feel like they're working hard just for themselves. Like, I feel like they're working hard for everybody on the team. And I love that. I feel like everyone doesn't want to go back to where it was last year. Everybody wants to be a whole different team. Like, the fact that there's so much buy-in, I feel like that's what makes this team so special. There's so much buy-in, there's so much respect, there's so much juice, which is passion that's brought every single day. Yeah, there's times where, people might be having bad days or stuff like that, but I've never seen a team try to pick people up as much as this team does. This team, like, we're one. We're together, and when we run and we're together, like, I've never felt more a part of a team on the floor than I do here. And I just love the fact that everybody has equal respect for each other. Everybody has huge investment into being a different team than last year. And you're going to need that if you want to win games. You're going to need that if you want to win championships. So, man, I'm telling you, this team is so special. And not only have they been talking the talk, but we've been trying to walk the walk every single day. And the fact that you have that much buy-in is really special. And I love being here. I love my teammates. And I know that we're all really excited. So, yeah, just can't wait to see what we're going to do.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing you out there. I'll be on the radio team with Justin Antwell, who I'm sure you saw here today. But hopefully we'll get the chance to actually meet you up close and talk face-to-face before long. Hopefully that'll take place as the season progresses.
Yes, sir. I hope so, too.
Awesome. Well, great to meet you, Johnasia, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Next question.
Johnasia, Coach Keeger said that, your eligibility right now, not totally sure if you'll be able to play this season or, when you might be able to suit up this season. Does that take a toll on you at all mentally, or do you still just go out there and practice because you never know when it might be your day that you are eligible?
I just go out there and I practice every single day and I give it my all. The reason why is because my initial plan when I got to Penn State was not to play basketball this year. I was supposed to sit out and then play my regular year the following year. Everybody got word that this year wouldn't count. Everybody would get a year back. So that I wanted to take full opportunity to, try to get the waiver to play, because who wouldn't want to, get the opportunity to play in just to fill out the new conference, to fill out the new teams. Like, I just wanted to have that opportunity instead of just having to watch from the sideline. But if I don't get my waiver, I'm not going to be bummed about it, because I'm going to go back to my mindset of, okay, it's just a year of work then. It's just a year of work. And that's exactly why it doesn't take a toll on me, and I don't quit, no practices, not knowing or anything like that. I don't worry about it, because if I don't play, then it's just a year of work. And a year of work, just to be hidden behind the scenes and then to pop back out and show everybody what I've been working on. I mean, that's a great feeling.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got time for one more question. If Canyon, go ahead. You have a last question here.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. I was just wondering, what sort of expectations do you have for yourself and the team this season? I mean, it's obviously a year of change and there's a lot going on, and last year didn't go as well as many people hoped. But what do you foresee the team doing this year? How successful do you think you'll be?
My hopes for this season is one that maybe I could get an opportunity to play. But if not, my hopes is that I could be the best practice player that I can be to help my teammates be the best players that they can be for this upcoming season, so that they can win some games, so we can win some games, so that we can cut down nets and win championships. I just want to be a part of, the build. We have a really young team this year. So my focus is just on trying to be the best me that I can be, so that I can be the best one, player for them, teammate for them, because I want it for them. I do this for them. I don't, have no selfish reasons of why I play basketball. So with that question being said, I just want to bring everything positive that I can to the team so that they can be the best, version of themselves. And so we can win games, and I can be the biggest cheerleader on the sideline, hyping everybody up. That's what I hope for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for joining us, and thanks Johnasia for doing this interview. Great job.